while now, and we want to see how well we're going to be able to interpret what we've got in the market. Now, if you were with Tom in that last week of August and in the first few days of September here, you know that we do have a pretty good handle on what we're looking at. We've got a pretty good way of taking advantage of it. I know that Tom's going to talk to you about that tonight. But don't rest on your laurels. This is a an aggressive market. We have seen that. We saw that at the beginning of August with that drop down to 51.20. We saw it at the end of August with the climb back up. So as we go into September and we look at the market and we say, well, everything's in a little bit of chaos. The chaos is actually something we can take advantage of. It's something that we can make work for us. All we have to do is understand those parameters. And if anybody understands the parameters, it's that man on the screen, both in the still picture and in the camera. Managing the chaos of the market is probably one of the hallmarks of your career, Mr. Busby.
Well, thank you, Chuck. I appreciate you saying that. We've been together a long time, and we've gone through some ups and downs in the market. And it's very interesting that what you bring up is so true because every year, every year, these different months have different opportunities from the standpoint of what they did last year, the previous year, or what time in the cycle is it? Well, this is the election cycle. And, going back many years, we've really, I think, been able to, I guess, show not only through our actions, but in our teachings, how important it is to understand how it works during this time of the year. And I know that September, brought back more people into the market. You start seeing volume growing, and I think that that's going to grow as we go into October, November, December. And then, of course, what is happening and the key dates that are happening brought upon us by, I guess, the election schedule, things that happen there. Next Thursday, I believe, is a big debate, and I think a lot of focus will go on what's going to happen there and the outcome of that. And then, of course, you get into that sprint into the actual vote on November 5th. And so it's sort of interesting because I think that it used to be one day everybody would vote. Now they've got voting started so early. Hey, I want to ask a question. Who is actually going to vote early here out of the crowd here tonight? Who's going to actually vote early? Because I don't know if I think I might have voted a couple times early, but generally speaking, I vote on election day. A lot of people here, look at that. A lot of people are voting early. So it is a trend. And I think that's sort of interesting. Yeah, look at all that, Chuck. Are you surprised that many people vote early?
Not really, because you and I have done our business in rather smaller cities, right? So,
Right.
like Mobile is not a huge city. Jacksonville is pretty large, but you're a little bit further out. Um, so when we go and vote, it's very efficient, right? Because there's not that many people there, right? We can get in and out pretty easily. If you're in a larger city and you're looking at the concept of spending an hour or two to go and vote, then
Yeah, like
okay,
Carlos just said that he votes early because if he waits to the day of voting, the crowds are so big because he does live in a big
yeah.
city.
So I think that makes a difference. If you're in a large metro area, voting early, I think would make more sense. If you're out in the suburbs or in a smaller type of city, listen, you can just walk down to the firehouse or the church or the local high school and cast that vote. So it's pretty easy in our case.
Right. Well, whether you vote early or vote on election day, vote. That's what I would tell you. Be sure you cast your vote, and because it's important,
Only once, though. Only once.
Yeah, only once. That's right. Only once. That's true. Uh, Let's talk about a subject. Let's talk about a subject tonight near and dear to your heart and mine and and my heart and mind, because I'm trying, always try to figure out how to take the money that I have and invest it and make good decisions. And so I think that a lot goes into that. And I think that if we can work towards that theme for the month of September, we've done pretty good. Now we're off to a great start. I don't know if we're going to show you the billboard of what we've done so far in the first couple of days, but we've started off on a quite a hot streak in here in the market with the trades that we've done, and we're going to try to keep that continuing, because that's been with the market selling off on the first day like it did, we adapted and basically took advantage of it. I think 4 or 5, 6, 7 times in the different things that we did. So I felt good about that. And then tomorrow is another opportunity. So we'll just see how that goes. But uh, with where the market is right now, if you define it, we went up to like 56.69 high and a low of 55.05, currently trading tonight at 55.28. So sort of in the lower third of that big range, even though we bounced off the lows. And some stocks have taken some really serious beat downs. Nvidia's at 106 right now. One stock, though, that I'm proud to say that it's been probably one of the best performing stocks we've had is Berkshire Hathaway. Does anybody own Berkshire Hathaway in their portfolio? Berkshire? Boy, aren't you glad you did? Me too. Yeah, it's been like rocking. And today it hit 484 in the early move. I talked to a friend of mine. He said that they're talking about a dividend. That's the rumor. Now, Buffett's not real big on dividends, but that's the rumor in the markets right now. They're talking about he's got all that cash. Maybe he'll give some of it out. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for coming tonight, and I appreciate it. Okay, and I know that we're gonna get some opportunities, and if you're with me tomorrow, we're gonna have some smiles on people's faces, because I think I got a pretty good beat on what's going on. Okay. Uh, Welcome. Risk involved in trading, we know about that. Past performance is not indicative of future results. For those that don't know me, I'm a former Air Force officer, been an active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange, have 3 books: Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. And working with students has probably been one of the most fun things I've done over my career of doing this, working with students. The DTI will help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. Now you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We got a great interview going to be published in there. If you a member, we did that to tape it today. I don't know if they released it. YouTube.com/at TBuzzTNT, at TBuzzTNT. And it's free. A lot of good training in there. Customer service, Monday through Friday, dtitrader.com/help. You can go there and get questions answered. And pretty nice. Pretty nice. Thank you, Karen, for saying that. I hope they copy that and share it with everybody else. You said it best. You said it best. In my opinion, if you listen, if you learn, I will teach you. That's right. I will teach you the right way to trade options and stocks and participate in the market. How do I know I can do it? I've got a bunch of you here tonight, it's been with me years, and every time I see your name, I say, wow, you've been with me a long time, in my opinion. There's Seven Sisters. That's where we stand right now, 14.5%. Notice the gap between the NASDAQ and E-mini is a little wider. That is not a real healthy sign when you see that. Notice gold is up 21.88%. Who was in my class today that I taught you something about gold that I thought was very interesting? Anybody here that was there tonight or with me today? Opened your eyes, didn't I? I opened your eyes with the strategy I shared with people today, and I've been getting a lot of love letters on that. And I think people are going to learn some things. It took me years to learn. Okay, crude's down 3.5%. It's the first time I've seen that. 69.31, and bonds are at 65%. 10 tickers. Well, Apple's not above 233. Amazon is not above 180. American Express, look at this. But Berkshire's the one that made the run, went to 484 today. I'm looking for Costco to go up to 918. Gold, 234.11. And the rest of them are way away from becoming trades this week. So Berkshire sure made up the difference. Now, live sessions this week, I told you we had a nice billboard. Made a nice trade on Google. Here's a trade right there. Speaking of Google, we bought it at 97 cents, sold it at $1.13. That's 16.5%. When did we do that trade? This week. Love it. Berkshire Hathaway, another 20% return on options this week. QQQ, 5% return this week. There's a gold trade, 17% return on risk this week. Another gold trade, 6% return. In my opinion, the number one mistake traders make is often spending too much time in the market. I came this week. I got into the market. I took advantage of what they gave us, and we put money in our account by following what we do. It won't stop there, folks. September is going to be a great month to see more of what you just saw. That's my goal, and I hope you're with me. They tend to think more time in the markets equal more money. That's not the way it works. You got to be in the market, and you'll hear me say this a lot. Patience does pay. Patience does pay. It's safer. People think to take longer term plays. Tell that to the people that are long some of these stocks that have fell from grace. These tech stocks been getting smashed. Longer term trades, people see as bigger gains, less risk. Not true. The longer you're in the market, you're taking risk, the chance of having a bigger gain gets less. In reality, when you take overnight risk, gives you less flexibility, you got your hand, more exposure to risk. Look at NVIDIA this week. What a stock. Look at higher. Look what happened. Got crushed. Stay in too long before they could get out. Most people have been taught that longer term trades are safer, but they forget about the 3 years the market goes down. What you need to be focused on is using options to target big returns of 1% or greater moves. Would you say, let me just stop right here. Would you say that if you want to target 1% or greater moves, where do you go to do that? You go with us in DTI's approach. And by the way, we got one coming up on Friday. You got to be part of it. Small moves in stocks can have huge returns with the right options. I've proven that. You know, a lot of people will buy options $3, $5, right? Correct? I like options about $1, all the way down to 10 cents. That's my range. Look at that TLT trade, in at 91 cents out of $1.44. How about that return? $1,000 risk turns into $580 in profits. There's an XSP trade. Look at that one. In at dime, almost out at 3 times. There's 60 days to the election. We're going to take advantage of every day. Historically, it's a period of huge volatility. Look at what the VIX has done. In fact, we made money. It didn't show up in one of our billboards. We made money on a VIX trade I set up in August that we got out in September. You know why? Because I said September is going to be more volatile. And boy, has it been. The VIX has gone from 15 to the night's price of 1960. That's quite a movement in the VIX. You're going to see a lot more of that between now and November 5th. Things go back to normal after the election. Predictable, how it spreads out. It's been that way for years and years and years. Always very volatile. And boy, you can make some good money using our approach during election days. And these are election days. Don't miss a one. Be there. Participate. Big market moves. You know, on Monday, think about this. On Monday, the NASDAQ moved down 3%. The NASDAQ moved down 2%. In one day. 1% moves in key indexes like the SPY, the QQQ, and gold. World of opportunity if you want to pay attention. Let me ask you a question. Instead of worrying about 100 different stocks, wouldn't it be nice just to focus on a few like we do and get paid on the ones that are liquid, where you don't get screwed getting in and out of options, where you make what you should make if you get the direction right? I'd rather play that game. Trades like we've seen recently, like on Friday, when we got the nice CPE report, everyone expected it to be a good bounce back day. Holding through the open would have been sorely disappointed. We waited, targeted a small change in direction later in the morning. Tiny move in the stock price produced a trade that we made 12% on. Not a lot invested, but the money adds up. No long-term risk with what we're doing. Recycling the money. I used to tell people I'm the original recycler, all the way from Alabama. How about a trade on gold last week? Look at that one. Very unpredictable, but then guess what? Slowly churning higher. Lots of valleys along the way. Air pockets, I call it. Only 12% since April on the actual gold metal. Again, all that stuff you got to deal with. Overnight risk, less upside, more exposure to risk. Avoid more exposure to risk. Done what DTI did. We stayed out till the setup was there, the right time of day, right time of week. When Powell spoke, gold was highly likely to move. Up we went, it gained over 1% because he was talking about interest rate cuts. Let me lay something out for you. If you know the Fed is moving from tightening, okay, to loosening rates, and you know if they loosen rates, it will have an immediate effect on what markets? Bond market, right? The gold market. It's a layup by knowing that one thing. Write it down. When you go into these Fed meetings for the next 2 years, this trade will set up for you. Okay? That's how you do it. You know these insights that you can take advantage of, and I'll show you how it works. Now, which would you prefer? A gold trade you made 30% on, 12% in 5 months. I'd take the 30%. Stuck in one trade, no flexibility with it, stressing on if it's ever going to get even, or you're in at 10, find time for a dime, and out at 13. It's game-changing stuff is what I'm teaching people. I'm teaching people how to keep their cash and make their cash work for them. And if you think of cash as your own employees, you're getting the finest employees in the world when they do stuff like that. Now, can't scoop in any old option. You got to learn. You need to know when to trade, what to trade, how to trade, when to enter, when to exit, and when to get out. I'll help you do that. We put this class out because I took a survey. I've been teaching for the last 3 months, old school, teaching the market timing method, the 25-cent trader. I combined both programs into a trade and education approach for the month of September. And when I did that, that's what you asked for. I brought it to you. And guess what? I said, I'm only going to take 100. And I had over 200 people that took the courses. So those that don't take advantage will be on the sidelines hearing stories like tonight. Capturing moves of 1%. They happen at different times during the week. And I will teach you how it works. Now, I'm limited only to 100 students. 10, 12, and 2. At the end of those reference bars, I am showing people how you can make a living by paying attention to those 3 times. Write those times down. Let me test you. What 3 times in the day does the window open? Answer. What 3 times of the day? That's right. 10, 12, and 2. You're getting it. 10, 12, and 2. We'll have a 10, 12, and 2 every day. I will check it out, and we're going to take advantage of it when it sets up. We'll capture moves in the market, gold, crude oil, bonds, anything that sets up during that time. Stocks that are highly liquid. These classes will take place in the month of December. I'm going to capture 8 to 10 opportunities during September using the old school techniques and the 25-cent techniques together. It's an open playing field. Here's your chance. If you didn't take the class, take one of these spots. If you did take the class, get paid. 8 to 10 setups, low price options, trading live in September. Now, the price. Let's talk about the price. This is a $1,000 program. I cut the price down to 50% off, $495. We have 70 slots left. And here's the real important fact. Write this down. If you join this year and next year, September comes around and I do the same thing, I will lock in your price next year rather than raising it to what it's really worth, $495. So if you take a slot, we put in your file. you're grandfathered in and frozen at that price. So there you have it. That's another benefit. If you want to watch this year, join, learn, and trade next year, that's fine. You'll do it at $4.95. Any questions about this program? In fact, I've been told that we're going to get started at 10 o'clock tomorrow. How about that? You don't have to wait long. So get signed up, get your invitation, and we'll take advantage of what happens in the market when you use proper procedures at 10, 12, and 2. So think of it this way. If you went out and said to somebody, hey, I would like somebody to have, I would like somebody to have an algorithm that told me to go long on a particular option, on a particular ticket, 3 times a day. How much would that be worth to you? 10, 12, and 2. That's my promise to you. Monday through Friday, through the month of September, Jonathan and I will be on alert looking for opportunities at 10, 12, and 2. Now, there will be trades that last for a couple days, 3 or 4 days, maybe for a week, maybe for the month of September, if we're set up. Tomorrow, think about this one, is the 3rd day of the month. So we're going to spend a little time together tomorrow. As Jim just typed in, it's worth a lot more than I'm asking. Absolutely. Don says, is it only spreads, mostly spreads, or just regular options? Don, I can teach you how to do either one. It's your choice. Donald, this is not included in my 25-cent program. This is live trading with me through the month of September at 10, 12, and 2 when it sets up. The other is a service. This is where I'm going to educate and show you what I'm doing. Okay? Ask the people that saw me today. They learned something today no one had ever learned. Wow, Karen, that's a nice thing to say. Donna, what we do, I have one meeting tomorrow at 10, but the setup that I'm looking for actually happens at about 10:30, okay? Got a little training I'm going to do at 10, okay? You love that 25-cent trade. How would you like to have that on steroids in the month of September? We have a bonus session tomorrow. Right. What would make everybody happy? If you signed up tonight and you were able to say getting, let's just say gold tomorrow, and it paid you 30%, would that make you happy if I showed you how to do that? Or maybe crude oil, or maybe the QQQ? Would that just make you smile from ear to ear? Well, you got to be there. You can't stay on the sidelines. You have to be there. You have to be there. That's just the way it is. Any other questions? Any other questions? Oh, Rochelle said, I just signed up with Kelly. All right. Way to go, Rochelle. Right. That's right. 10 for 10s tomorrow at 10. Then after that, I'm going to do a bonus class on this. So if you're in 10 for 10 and this, you're going to get a couple trades right out of the chute tomorrow. Hey, how many people, how many people like the fact that I've got this narrowed down to those three times during the day, 10, 12, and 2? That's not going to tie you up looking at those times, is it? Say you're out doing something else, and all of a sudden you get an alert and go, "Whoa, look at that." Very helpful, isn't it? Laura says she likes the schedule. 10, 12. All you have to do, I used to tell people a long time ago, if you can tell time, I can show you how to make money, right? So all you have to do is look at your clock based on Easter time, 10 o'clock. Wonder what trade Tom found today. Just check it out. My goal is to show you how to navigate this very volatile month. It means play in the market when we have to the upside, or play in the market to the downside when we have to. We're going to play it whichever way the market tells us to play it. That's the only way I know to do it. That's funny, Edwin. That's funny. Yes, if you're in the program this year and I bring it back next September, okay, then you'll get that price right there. You're locked in. I will probably, if I had to guess, somewhere between 10 and 20 trades in the month I'm going to find at 10, 12, and 2. Because you got 3 opportunities a day, that's 15 a week. You got 15 a week or 60 opportunities. I ought to be able to find about a third of the time some really great trades during those times. Like the Google trade we made. Wade said he made great dollars with me yesterday going short. Thank you, Wade. I didn't hesitate a long time, did it? I knew after 10 o'clock we had to go short, and we did. It's going to be interesting to see how tomorrow turns out because the market is coming off the lows. It's still in the lower third of the range, and it creates some opportunity. I think the trade, would y'all like to hear what I think right now might be the trade of the month? Would you like to hear that? All right, the symbol is Costco, COST, and I'll give you the number. If you see Costco go above 902.55, it should challenge 918 here in September. That's going to be one of the trades of the month, Costco. Hey, people are coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Christopher. Thank you. No, Rudy, you didn't hear what I said. Rudy, I said there'll be some day trades, but mostly they're going to be overnight trades or swing trades is what I'm going to shoot for, okay? Most of them are what I call the art of making money. I call it art because it's not scientific. It's the art of doing it. Like that Costco number I just gave you, 902.55. It's the same number I gave you on Berkshire. Y'all don't remember this. I do. It was 425 and a half. Now, Berkshire, a short 6 weeks from when I gave you that, okay, is at hit 484 today. That's a pretty good move. In fact, a lot of people like to have one of those trades once a year. I'll be trading it up if it goes above 902.55. Yep, I will. All right. We start out with 70 open. Get signed up. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Any other questions anybody has? I've tried to answer every question. I hope you get joined. No time like the present to grow your account. And let's do it live. Let's do it together. 10, 12, and 2 each day. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for the presentation. The slides, they were great. Let's go after it.